Welcome to another episode of Pels in the Blender. It's your boy Davis coming to y'all on Friday, this Friday afternoon, man. Getting ready to dive into a little bit of the Pels content that's got put out. We getting ready to go into the weekend. They got the Pels open practice today. Absolutely going to that. Should be a really good time. First opportunity to see the team. Kind of, up close look at how everybody's looking. And the cool thing about, like, if I don't know if anybody, like, people who haven't been to an open practice, one, the tickets are free. They're probably still up there. So if you just go on SeatGeek, you could go ahead and just download. I think you get up to 4 tickets, possibly more. I'm not sure. But you just get your tickets, and when you get to the blender, like, there is no assigned seating. So you get as close to the court as you can, and you can really get a good idea of, like, and they don't do nothing crazy, but it's just sometimes drills. I don't think they typically don't scrimmage, but you get like the fan interaction and stuff like that. If you got kids, always bring the kids. You might you might be able to get some players to sign something, who knows. But the open practice is always really cool, really fun. And I enjoy going to them. And this particular season, I actually looking forward to it a little bit more because, like I said, I kind of want to see for myself up close, like, not is it legit, because you can tell by all of the time that the team has been, all of the videos that you see, the interviews, everything, like, everybody sounds like they're in a really, really good place. But I kind of want to just see how people are moving, how people are shooting, just all of the little things. And you're not going to, see too much sometimes, because again, it is an open practice. But after coming off Australia, and there was a lot of support for the team in Australia, it'd be nice for the team to come home and get similar support to kind of kick off the season and let some of the newer players who haven't been here as a Pelican what it's going to be like. This will be the first time we see Jeremiah Fears, in front of the fan base, Jordan Poole in front of the fan base, Looney, stuff like that. So all of that stuff matters, man. I think you want to make the team feel as, excited as possible. I know they got their own personal goals, and at the end of the day, they're professionals. You got a job to do, yeah. But it's always nice to come to a place and know, like, this is the first time they'll be in front of the fans, be able to be like, hey, man, they showed out for open practice. When we had a season opener, we got to make sure we come back with the dub, ready to go. The building gonna be crazy. When you build that excitement, that kind of stuff matters. So just kind of want to get that out the way, man. The open practice look dope. Well, they're typically pretty fun. You get the rookies typically either sing, they dress up. Who knows what they're gonna do, because it's different this year. This is the first time you got, like, not saying that Trey and them haven't had rookies before, but, like, it's Z's team, it's Trey's team, it's Herb's team, Jose's team. So, like, I kind of want to see, like, what it's like with these prominent rookies that we have and how they go, you know what I mean, how they interact with the fans and stuff like that. So that's always cool. Now, to really dive into, like, the meat of the conversation, pause, that might be a little crazy, but you get what I'm trying to say. The main conversation of what it is I want to talk about today. So first off, man, shout out to the New Orleans Pelicans media team. Whoever's been up this season, bro, been cooking. Like, between the like, throughout the summer, it really wasn't too much. It was up to the players, kind of. But, like, once they started getting, like, around the schedule release, they did a really good job with that, with Herb, leaning into the Black Cat stuff and all that. They did a really good job with the schedule release and all of that. Bruh, since they got into, like, these training camp videos, they giving you, in my opinion, like, it's just a little bit of what it is you want to see. For example, and matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. They released a clip today. Not long ago, maybe an hour, 2 hours ago, from practice, since the team been back in the facility. But the videos they've been releasing, the images and the pictures they've been releasing, in the interviews, everybody been doing a really good job of just giving the fans like some of the things you want to see. So even though the videos aren't long, it's exactly like a lot of the things are like what I at least want to see the team being worked on. So hold on a second. Let me go ahead and pull this up. And the sound got to be on because, and typically you don't even really need to watch these videos with sound because it's just, working out. You can hear the team communicate and stuff like that. But there's a part in this video where Willie talks to the team and kind of gives you an idea of what it is that he's trying to instill. And with that, in his interview, I might have to give Willie a little bit of grace moving into the season. But let's go ahead and play this real quick, and we could discuss that. So, go handle. You see Eves, Zion. Let me pause right there. Start it over again for those that might have missed it. Zion shooting a jumper. People be asking, do he work on it? And everybody knows he works on it, but they've been saying he's been consistently shooting these. You saw in the first game. In the first game, I think it was right towards the end of the quarter, maybe, or something like that. Right at the end of the clock, he tried to take that little corner midi or whatever, the little pull up. That goes to show he's been working on it. He might not shoot it often, but he's been shooting them, and he's practicing shooting them. And that's man. This is exciting just to be able to watch him do that. So let me go ahead and. There you go, shooting the jumper. Yeah. Herb back at. So again, Herb and Jose. People been asking, are Herb and Jose healthy? Like, are they healthy and practicing and whatnot? Boom. There you go. The video cleared that right up. Oh, look, Herb and Jose at practice. Cool.
This is the game. Y'all gotta prepare for these traps. You get ready to go play 2 teams in preseason. They're going to have their hands all over. Don't look at me. Get prepared now. Defense go offensive.
Now listen. That's a great. I got to go back and give Willie his credit here. Letting the team know. And these are the things that you don't really see in a practice. Or like you don't really get the behind the scenes of what's going on and like what are they telling them? Like, all you preparing is like, when you're getting ready to play teams like Houston, Orlando, and everything, those are physical teams. You got to prepare. And Willie's basically like reiterating, hey, prepare now. Be ready for what it is that you getting ready to face. And those are the things that it felt like, I don't know if we were doing before, but it would feel like sometimes during games where we would get into a game and you didn't know that the team was physical, or you didn't practice for the style of play that you were going up against. And I know sometimes they don't do a lot of practice and stuff like that throughout the season. It's not a lot of practice time. I understand that. But these are the things that, one, come with experience, and two, you just need to let them know, like, hey, like, make it happen now. Prepare yourself now. And I love him being like, hey, don't look at me. Like, it's one of those things where when Willie doesn't scheme something, or like, for example, there's been plenty of times where BI and Trey Murphy, have those times where people like lock them out of the offense or block them out of the offense. And it's like, what are you doing as a coach to help them, to kind of help them get going? And Willie has repeated, he got to help himself. Those things I do not like. Absolutely not. But the flip side to that is, bro, I can't save you from a guy just being physical with you. You know what I mean? Like, I could put you in actions and we could do some of that type of stuff. Yeah. But if you just letting somebody bully you, I can't do nothing about that. Don't look at me. He taking the ball from you. You need to be prepared to do what you need to do. So that part I agree with. Let me go ahead and run it again.
You get ready to go play 2 teams in preseason. They're going to have their hands all over. Don't look at me. Get prepared now. Defense go offensive.
Defense go offensive. for Mr. Jumper. Easy, big. Herb finishing through some contact. It's probably an and one. Bro, listen, every time they show Carlo, he's making athletic play. That dude is extremely athletic. Look at this dude. There you go. Look, so nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy, but good good video by them, man. Shout out to them. That was a really good and well done video. So what I want to do now is kind of talk about, honestly, what I really want to go into is the so the videos that they put out. So obviously after practice, you know, they do the post game, the post practice interviews. So Willie, in this particular practice or the videos they released, Willie, Willie, Z, and Fears did their post game interviews or whatever, their post practice interviews. So they all asked each other kind of about each other, and all of them wanted to say something. So the first thing I kind of want to bring up is Jeremiah Fears. So I've been saying the last couple times, I don't know if necessarily the last videos, but like from what I noticed in summer league, and it's not that Fears isn't, you know, as a perfect prospect or nothing like that, but the one thing you want to see from him is that he's improving every opportunity he can. And like, growth isn't linear. You hear people say that all the time. So like some players, it might take a full season, sometimes 2 seasons, for you to see them progress, right? Fears, and it's one of those things, man, where like literally he might look one way in one game, and you can tell he takes coaching well. He says it in his interviews. You know, man, I'm asking questions to every player. I'm just listening. I'm, you know, you trying to remain humble. And he's implementing the things that he's learning. So that's why you can tell from, take the summer league games, game 1, game 2, you didn't have much, you know, time with the team together. You just kind of out there playing. He got some instruction. By game 3 or 4, he looked a little bit better. Game 5 looked a little bit better. Game 1 in the preseason, struggled with some things. You know, you're trying to figure it out. Game 2 looked a lot better. So like you can tell, and I think his growth as a player is happening really, really fast, to be honest. Because, and you know what? Let's do his interview first, because I think starting with Fears is pretty significant. So let's let me pull it up real quick. Let's go through the Jeremiah Fears video.
Pretty happy with both our performances.
So they first question they just asking him, hey, are you happy with you know, your performances and, you know, in both games and everything? How you feel about your performance?
Sit down and talk about it in film and as a team as well. So I think that went a long way for all of us. And just knowing what we're trying to accomplish this year, especially today in practice, coach was preaching being aggressive, and we're gonna be the aggressors this year.
What was it like in the start?
So he said, you know, I think both games went well. Now, you got to think, this game 1, a lot of people said he struggled, and he struggled to a degree in some aspects, but based on what it is they want him to do, hey, man, we want you to attack, get to the rim, be a playmaker, play fast, play in transition. He did all of those things well. You know, now, obviously, he missed some shots. He had some turnovers, stuff like that. All of that thing. Then what he say? Yeah, we looked at it in some film. You know, we had a chance to go over it or whatever. It was our first time on the floor, and was able to come back and have a better game the second game, which goes to show that, one, he's seeing something and immediately implementing what it is that he saw.
Yeah, it's dope. But at the same time, you gotta remember it's more to come, and continue to stay humble and continue to keep putting in the work.
What do you think about your performance individually?
Man, it was pretty good. First 2 preseason games, get my feet underneath me. And most importantly, we got the dub. So just continue to keep going, keep growing, and keep taking it game by game.
Most importantly, we got the dub. Not worried about the stats and all of that. Not saying that it don't matter. And Joe Dumars said that about when he drafted them, right? Not saying that they're not impact players, but the thing Joe said about both of the people he brought in, they just won't win. Everybody I'm bringing in, they just won't win. So, and again, that's what you're supposed to say in the interview. I get it. That's what you're supposed to say. Hey, man, did well, blah, blah, blah. But, we got the dub eventually. I firmly believe that that's how he feels, especially when they went through summer league and didn't get any wins. So technically, this is his first win as a Pelicans player. So I know that had, like, both of those games. So I know that had to feel good. Your first chance with the team, y'all get off to a good start. You know what I mean? Even if it is against a non-NBA team, right? You still went out and performed. You got a chance to get your feet wet. You didn't look overwhelmed. Like, I think that's a good start from him.
How's it been adjusting back to being in the U.S.? Like, does it feel like 1 p.m. to you right now?
It does. It feels crazy. I've been getting up every day at 4 in the morning, just looking at the ceiling. So I'm trying to get back on my sleep schedule. I think I'm gonna stop taking naps in the afternoon. I think that's still what's messing me up a little bit. So just trying to get back on track.
I know real quick about that. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing with them having such a long layoff after the flight to Australia, but I know the upside to it is a lot of those dudes get a chance to, like, because he's talking about his sleep pattern being thrown off and everything, get a chance to, like, adjust, get your body back used to resting, sleeping at certain times, like getting back to your routine. So, like, it's kind of good that they had that amount of time off to be able to get back and hopefully adjust, as opposed to you going over the 20-hour flight, then you got to fly back. And if they would have had a game like 2 or 3 days later, you probably still not quite yourself. So I think I think the long break that they had kind of plays to benefit that, especially during the preseason.
It's not a real game. What's it like gonna be like just to get in front of the home fans?
It'll be great. Showing everybody what we're capable of. Going out there competing, roughing each other up a little bit, but at the same time, continue to keep learning, continue to execute our plays, our sets, and continue to build our chemistry.
What's your message from some of the vets? What have they been telling you, trying to help you, get acclimated?
Really just continue to play your game.
So I don't know about y'all, but this is going to be a constant theme, so I'm going to point it out now. And this is why I use stuff like words have meaning, right? So they say there's asking him about the open practice. He's like, yeah, it's going to be good to get in front of the fans, and show what we're capable of. The thing I took from that is he said you still want to come out and execute, the plays and sets and all of that. So look, that goes to show me what about this? They had the game within 3 days of travel that far. Man, I appreciate you for dropping that information because I absolutely did not know that. So that's some great information to have right there. Appreciate you, bro. So with Jeremiah Fears is saying that this particular team, like they're hey, we just want to make sure we execute. I remember in, the plays and sets in the Zion video, he's going to reference, having an opportunity to run the plays and all of that, which makes me believe that this particular season, and I don't know if I'm guessing I got to give Willie the credit for this. I don't know if there's a difference between what they're doing now and what they've been doing before, but you hear a lot of people, a lot of the players, like Willie used to always try to, emphasize like game plan and stuff like that. But now the players and Zion being the one leading the charge on this is like, we just trying to run the sets, make sure we get more comfortable in running the plays. Oh, so and shout out to, Justin from Boot Crew. Like he's been showing, hey, they're running a lot of different sets and stuff like that, which does that mean that this particular team is going to have like a solid like offensive game plan and structure that we're gonna be able to play with, other than getting in transition? If so, bro, that's a legit game changer if it's something that they're going to emphasize consistently. Like that, their athleticism and talent and all of that goes a long way. But if you can have the talent along with the structure that comes with running good offensive sets and getting those guys easy buckets, like I'm starting to feel even more confident with, talking about the 49 or 50 wins, because not just because of the talent, but if they actually have some structure to what they're doing and working now on, hey, look, we just want to make sure we perfecting the process, right? You'll see that pay dividends throughout the season.
And continue to build our chemistry.
What's your message from some of the vets? What have they been telling you, trying to help you, get acclimated?
You just continue to play your game.
Play your game.
Zion, Trey Hurd, and Jordan Poole, they've been telling me just continue to play your game. But at the same time, we got a lot of different pieces. So just learning how to play together and put each other in the right position.
So that's important too. Dumas mentioned in one of his interviews the CBA restrictions. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to go back and check for that. As always, bro. That's why the words mean a lot, man. I'm telling you. But Jeremiah just now was talking about how with my mouse. Hold on, man. There we go. Just now was talking about what the vets are telling him, about his game and everything. It's like, hey, bro, look, just play your game, but also remember we got a lot of pieces out here. Like, do your thing. Don't get me wrong. And to me, what I took that as is the same thing that we've been saying, or at least I've been trying to say about Jeremiah Fears, the last couple videos, is he's a very talented player. And I think the thing that was getting him in trouble was he was looking to be too aggressive offensively. And I think they want him to be aggressive offensively. Like, they can't stay in front of you, attack the paint, get to the rim, do your thing, but use the players around you. And Jeremiah's gonna mention, hey, it's just our first game together. We trying to build chemistry. Bro, this goes it gives you an idea what's really going on.
Just learning how to play together and
put
each other in the right position.
What's it like to be on the court with Zion? What was it like?
Man, he affects the game in multiple different ways. So being able to take the court with him was super amazing. And I'm gonna continue to ask him questions and continue to pick his brain.
Jermaine, it looked like you were actually more comfortable in that second game. Could you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. Personally, it's always been an experience for me, just continuing to take a game by game and learning from every game. I think that's the most important thing. So continue to learn something from every single game and carry it over to the next game, and try to do what you didn't do the best the first game and carry it over to the second game.
What do you feel like you did learn?
Game by game, take it game by game, carry it over to the next game, learn from your mistakes, implement what it is you learn. He does a really good job of that. So, like, again, he's gonna struggle, but if he's the type that's, hey, because you know how sometimes you'll try and teach somebody something and it might take them 2, 3, or 4 times before they're able to actually do it or implement it. If you're able to tell him one time and then show him something one time, and then the next time you see him or the next time he has an opportunity, he fixes it or he corrects that problem, like, it's going to make him getting minutes on the floor. Like, it's going to make it easy for him to get minutes on the floor and be playable. Like, again, there's certain things he's just got to work on. You got to develop your game. You got to get stronger and stuff. So I understand that. But if there's a way for them to find a role for him to maximize and he's able to learn from his mistakes, that's going to make Jeremiah a very valuable asset for the team.
From that first game, though, was it just like more nerves or just being out there with the guys? What was it?
I think it was really our first time playing together. We started training camp. We only was able to do training camp for a week, so we got to learn each other a little bit, but not really. So I mean, it was our first time playing together. Everybody kind of figuring out what each other is capable of. So, I mean, that's probably the most important thing.
I don't want to keep pausing it because I got other videos we want to get to, but that's important. They were only in training camp for a week. They don't have a lot of time together as a team. Like they're still probably working as a team, but they're still probably working in groups. And again, you don't really know how a guy's going to respond until you in the fire with him, right? So it's their first opportunity to like have real live game action. And again, if you like, they had 2 of days. He said training camp was for a week. And yeah, they probably been working out and all of that. But again, it's different. The more time you have together, the more opportunity you have, like he said, to build the camaraderie, to get the team to gel a lot quicker, because those things matter when you out on the floor. I got to know where you like where you are a good shooter. Oh, he's faster than I thought, or he can catch that alley. I gotta throw it sooner. Like, it's a lot of little fine details. This person screens this way. He can't catch a bounce pass, but he can catch a lob, like he can catch an overhead. All of those little details when you playing the game and when you're on a team, like team games, all of that matters. So for him to be so young and already understanding, like, man, we just really trying to get our chemistry and figure out how to play together, play off each other. Like, you got to understand, this is a completely different team than the teams we've seen before, right? Like, CJ was a very integral part. And not that Jordan Poole can't give some of the things that CJ gave from a production standpoint, but how CJ and Jordan Poole gets production is completely different. So Zion has to figure out how Poole plays, how does this new version of Trey Murphy play? Like, we've seen him and Zion have success before, but he hasn't played extended minutes with this new version of Trey Murphy. So like constantly they're reiterating, running the plays, running the sets, and building the camaraderie. That's gonna go a long way. All of that matter, and the fact that they're saying it, that's what they're working on, being aggressive, attacking on offense. They coming out playing like that matters.
Shots weren't falling in the first game, but come back, they're falling a little bit better. What's your approach initially after you have a game where you shoot 3 or so?
This dude gonna be
Man, just continue to stay confident. Put in a lot of work. So continue to trust your work and continue to take the same shots you take with confidence. You're gonna make some, you're gonna miss some, but continue to have that next shot next time.
That dude's gonna be a dog.
Man, Coach Green, he was a huge help. Like you said, shots won't fall in the first game, but he was just in my ear telling me, like, nobody did this at 18. Nobody made in your shoes. So just continue to stay aggressive and continue to keep learning. And I think that went a long way for me. So just continue to ask some questions and continue to keep learning.
Let me pause right there, because the question was, how has Coach Green helped you? Now, I don't know if this is Joe Dumars, but whatever it is, or if Willie is just really enamored with the idea that Fears is so young and as skilled as he is, because Dyson came into the league young too, but you got to remember, Dyson's skill set isn't like what Jeremiah Fears' skill set is, right? So I'm wondering if Willie is really impressed with Jeremiah Fears, and obviously Joe Dumars like, look, this our guy. We need to make sure he's, successful. But essentially he's saying, he took, like, Willie Green is in my ear, encouraging me to continue to be aggressive, encouraging me to stay confident, encouraging me to, continue to play my game. Those aren't really the things that, and I'll say this, I don't know for sure what Willie Green behind the scenes, like, tells his players and stuff like that, especially the young players, but he has a reputation for, not really trusting the rookies and stuff like that at times, which I guess it depends on who you ask, because he had no problem. I'll say he trusts a very specific type of rookie, right? Jeremiah Fears doesn't really fit that mold, but he is a Joe Dumars draft pick. Let the guy be himself. But shout out to Willie Green, man, for constantly encouraging Jeremiah Fears. And like, if the things that Willie Green is doing is helping Jeremiah Fears produce, like, then shout out to Willie Green, because that means he's being part of the solution. Like that goes a long way, man. Like, and that's that guy's first coach. That's Jeremiah Fear's first coach. Like, you're gonna learn a lot from your first experience in the NBA. So good job, Willie. Like, really good job. Kudos.
See, Trey and Herb, all those guys play so well in transition. How much that kind of fits your style of play as well?
Man, it's gonna help a lot. I got some speed, so I mean I can put them in the right position. I might grab a couple offensive and defensive rebounds and push them in transition, start the break, and I can hit one of them in, and it's gonna be easy buckets for them.
And what's something you learned in
Transition game, gotta have it.
Man, really some of the language and some of their foods was pretty good. I would say their fruits. They got some fruits out there. We kind of got to explore the zoo a little bit, see some kangaroos. We don't have that over here. So it was dope.
It was the outfits that y'all wore.
Man, it was Loon and Trey out there. Ricky Hayes, but I mean it's great. I think that's what kind of helped. It's gonna help our brotherhood and just help our team chemistry and team bonding.
Was the flight good?
So not too much from that. Talking about the little Ricky Hayes and the little outfits that they had to wear. It's gonna help their chemistry and bonding and stuff like that. And I absolutely, bro, that stuff matters. Like, if you play along, have a good time, like go along with the flow, that goes a long way. So, but that's all from the Jeremiah video. I'm gonna play the Willie Green video next, and his video is a little longer, so we're gonna kind of go through it. But what the point of, like, what matters with all of this is you got to pay attention to what everybody is saying. And if we're going to believe that everybody's being honest, right, and being candid, I don't think they have any reason this early in the season to not be forthcoming with what's going on, right? Everything's, you're undefeated in preseason for the most part. Everybody's relatively healthy. So, you take people for what their word. And from what I took from Jeremiah Fears is his vets are really involved, right? They're allowing him to play his game while also kind of, hey, you don't have to be ultra aggressive. Use your players around, use your team around you. We could do a lot, right? He's still gonna let you be you. Willie's letting them play through some mistakes, coaching them up. Hey, keep that aggression. And I just think it's kudos from everybody that talked, and he specifically talked about learning game by game, taking it game by game, bro. I'm telling you, Jeremiah Fears is bro. That dude gonna be good if he can stay healthy. Like, knock on wood. I think he's gonna grow into a really good player. I think he's already like solid, but I mean, I think he's gonna grow. We'll see him look like a really productive player this season. So we go ahead and get Willie Green video in and listen to some of his comments about the team.
It was a really good trip. We enjoyed it. Really good bonding time for our whole group. So that part was really cool. And I thought the people in the host, Australia, the country, the people, they were welcoming, inviting, and we played in front of an energetic crowd. Two really good competitive teams, so fun for us.
What did you kind of learn about your team in that time over there? What did you learn about it?
Real quick, I'm not going to harp on that too much, but that's why I think the open practice is important. He keep talking about how in Australia they had such a good experience and how everything was, electric and they were awesome. You need to have that same feeling when you play in New Orleans. You need to come to New Orleans and feel like, man, I can't wait to get there and play in front of that crowd and like feel that particular energy. Like, if you put that out, then that's how you have a good home arena, a good home court advantage. Same thing like with the Saints and the Dome, man. And again, you got to produce, but if they do their part, we do our part. Somebody got to start. It's a fresh start for everybody. We got to be able to show up for the team.
I learned that they're all competitors.
They better be.
In the basketball sense. They step on the floor. They want to compete. They play hard. They play for each other. Off the floor, I saw some connectivity with our group, growing together, some dinners with guys.
They better be competitive.
And that's what it's going to take as we progress throughout the season.
From your experience, do you think
going through stuff like that together can really be beneficial for a team, can really help you out?
For sure. It's extremely beneficial to have your entire group all together, plus the entire staff. Everybody kind of brought a plus one. So we got to know people and sit down with groups of people that we probably wouldn't have had a chance to do. I think when you have those type of opportunities, you come out of it stronger.
And we talked to Jeremiah about just that experience going from preseason game 1 to preseason game 2. What did you kind of see just him progressing in those 2 games?
He's getting more confident as he gets more experience. Again, looking at him being 18 years old and having already some of the accomplishments that he has, extremely tough to do. But the credit goes to him, and he's putting in the hard work with Coach A. Miles, watching film. He's nonstop in the gym, and it's good to see him step on the floor and play with confidence, especially looking at game 1 to game 2.
So I kind of want to pause there real quick because what I think Willie was like, one, I think he, again, like I said, I think he's very impressed with like the amount of work that it took Jeremiah Fears to be able to be in the position that he's in already. Like that young, making the league. Same thing with Cooper Flagg. You know what I mean? Those dudes being that young, being in the league or whatever. But Jeremiah Fears not a big guard. Like he's a smaller player, and to be able to get into the league, be top 10, play and produce and stuff like that goes, again, that's a pretty big deal. But I think Willie is respecting, especially after they you got him in the building. Everybody talks about how much Jeremiah Fears works. I think the player in Willie and the grinder, right? Because I mean, you seen Willie's playing career. Willie had the grind for everything that he got. Shout out to him. I think he sees the desire and the amount of work that Jeremiah Fears as a young player is putting in, and kind of, I think it's like exciting to him. You know what I mean? It's inspiring. I think he wants to help him do everything that he wants to do everything that he can to help the young man come along. So he's talking about like he continues to play with confidence, and everybody talk about like he got like a little arrogance about him. You can't have that kind of arrogance without putting in work. So I think, bro, I don't know if it's Joe Dumars, if it's specifically Jeremiah Fears, but I like the fact that everybody's encouraging it with surrounding the first draft pick, the first lottery pick of the new era with the support to not only, try to help the team, but like develop as a person. Not saying, look, we just need you to do this so we can be, but like, so you can be the best version of you. Like, these are the things you need to do, and you just seeing it. I like the support system that he's having.
What else stood out to you about the play of the team, whether it's improvement, individual players like Sadiq Bey, that game too was kind of nice, impressive performance by him?
Yeah, for sure. We had some guys had some really good individual performances. Sadiq was really good. I saw Zion set the tone with his energy on both ends of the floor. Defensively, I'll start with that. Collectively as a group, we were active, getting steals, deflections, blocking shots, rebounding the ball, all areas that we want to do really well in this season. It was fun just watching our group and those guys being connected on the floor offensively, sharing the basketball, playing fast. And we'll have two more games to really evaluate our group.
I think Willie is excited by what he sees. He mentioned Zion, Zion kind of being the energizer. And if you watched like the second game, even in the first game, the first play comes out, Zion got the ball. Like he creates, kicks the Trey makes the shot, but like everything is going to start and finish with Zion. First person he mentioned, I enjoyed our group, Zion setting the tone. Like everybody is, it feels as if everybody's in one accord with what's happening and like what we got to do, to be successful this season. Like, Willie isn't saying much, right? And that's coach talk. A lot of coaches, speak that way. Like they give you an answer and it's not like they're going into detail and stuff like that, but he did a good job. Wants to see him play with intensity, play fast, get out in transition, shut a ball, attack. Like all of those things are very true. And he's not wrong. That is like, those are the things he wants to be a staple of his team. You know what it kind of makes me think, and I'm wondering about this, like this may be like aside from help, right? This may be one of the first opportunities that Willie has had from a roster standpoint to coach a team that like has the players to fit a style that I think he wants to play, right? And what I mean by that is you know, Willie kind of always wanted to play fast. Brandon's style didn't really fit playing a fast-paced kind of game. Same thing with JV. Larry was kind of old. That's why you would see him bench JV for Larry. Those times without Brandon, you would see the style look completely different. So I think this is one of the first times he's kind of able to emphasize some of the things that he wants to implement, and it's just something that I'm kind of keeping a lookout for. I'm wondering if throughout this year we see more from Willie Green, kind of being able to put more of an imprint on his team, and because it's more molded in the way that he actually wants to play. It's just an interesting thing to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, based on Herb and Jose.
They went through a full practice today, so that was really good, encouraging.
Herb
And we'll see how they respond after today's practice.
You have two.
Oh, I remember the thought I had before we carry on. They was asking him, you know, and he mentioned we had a really good look before these next two preseason games. I think Willie is taking the first two games with a grain of salt. Like, yeah, it's good to see how we looked against them. We got two really good teams coming up. We're going to start to evaluate what we really are against these next two preseason opponents. And then I'll make decisions based on who's going to do what and how we look. So I think the first two games, cool. We honestly, you supposed to win those. You supposed to dominate those, right? These next two against Houston and Orlando, you seen Houston in the preseason. They look good. Orlando looks solid. You know what kind. And then in the third preseason game is typically when you see, you know, the starters play extended minutes and stuff. So I think the third preseason game for sure is going to tell us a lot of what Willie wants to do as far as, you know, from a team perspective and how he's judging the team. Like, if I was targeting any game, like obviously you want to play well every time, but that third preseason game against Houston, that's going to be the one that's going to determine a lot for the squad.
Young bigs that are coming off of rookie seasons, and Eve and Carlo, where they got to play a good amount. What did you like about what they did in the couple games?
Well, I think when you evaluate that experience that they had last season, the games that they have under their belt, playing against some highly competitive opponents, you can see that they're stepping on the floor with more know-how, more confidence in what they're doing. They're talking defensively, which is huge for our bigs because they're the backbone of your defense. They're protecting the basket. Offensively, more awareness. And both of those guys got to just continue to compete throughout camp.
Did you like the way that it seemed like both of them guys ran the floor really well too when they got?
So I'm gonna just real quick on that. And I hate that I keep pausing, but like every time, like I just really hear the words, and he's talking about the experience that those guys gained from last season. Like, last season was a god-awful season, right? We all know that. 21 wins, everybody was hurt. The benefit you got from that, and this is why I wish that Carlo would have been with the team more throughout the season. Like, you ain't even need Daniel Tice, in my opinion. You could have just ran with Eves and Carlo if that's what you was going to do and just let them run it and figure it out. Be whatever. But those guys gain valuable experience in that season. They're learning, they're communicating more, they're playing faster. Like, the more experience you have, like you're seeing them. I think Carlo and Eves are gonna, like, you see, they're gonna be playmakers for this team to a degree, right? Like, you see them running the floor. like they're both athletic in their own ways. And I think the experience that they probably wouldn't have got in a normal Pelican season last season, they were able to get. So now when everybody is healthy, your two bigs that you didn't necessarily like. Ease probably wasn't gonna play too much, or who knows how much Ease was gonna play if everything went well, right? If Trey isn't hurt game 1 last season, or if Zion's not out, Ease ends up starting most of the season last season. That experience allows you to come into this season way ahead of where you would have been. That's going to be a benefit to the team early on. And I think they've simplified, right, what it is that they wanted them to do. And you heard Eve speak about it. And I think they've communicated that to the team. Like every time you hear Willie talk about them, or you hear one of the big speak, you heard Eve, I'm not worrying about the 3. I'm going to just focus on the things I need to focus on. Willie right now, they did a really good job of, I think the message is clear of what it is that you want from that particular position, and that makes it easy for Eves and Carlo to be productive when they're on the floor. Use your athleticism, get out in transition, defend the rim, compete hard, like fighting for everything. You're fighting for your minutes, you're fighting for your spot, you're fighting for your opportunity in the league. All of that matters. And I think last year they got a lot of experience that they wouldn't have got. And I think that's what Willie was hinting at. That should pay dividends for him this season.
A lot of dunks and, plays at the rim basically because of that energy.
Yeah, it's something we're emphasizing with our bigs. Both Carlo and Eve, they're fast. They can rebound the ball, get it out to a guard, and beat some bigs down the floor. So we want to try to get those guys some easy baskets. So we're encouraging them to run.
Right.
We've seen some of that, the first 2 games.
Well, I know it's not a real game tomorrow, but how excited are you about getting in front of your fans?
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're always excited to get in front of our fans here in New Orleans, and the guys are excited to get on the floor down at the Smoothie King Center. So we look forward to it.
I got some fun stuff lined up for the rookies.
I stay out of the rookie hazing and whatever they have planned, and I don't know about it, but hopefully it's not too bad.
And I know you said you want to kind of evaluate what you're going to do with that starting center spot throughout preseason. What are you kind of looking for from those guys to kind of figure out what you want to do with that position?
Number one, who goes out and competes the hardest, who gives us the best opportunity to start games well. And for all of our bigs that step on the floor, we're asking if that's the non-negotiables for us. So, time will tell. We'll continue to evaluate. We got 2 more games.
I think when he's saying who competes the hardest, right? He said 2 things about what he's looking for from his starting 5, and he's still trying to decide. Who competes the hardest and who allows us to start games out well. Like, one, starting the game don't mean you're going to finish the game. You can figure that out throughout the game. But starting absolutely matters because this team is historically known for getting off the slow starts. So you definitely need to figure out who helps you start the game, who, gives you the best opportunity to get off the fast starts. I really like that he said that specifically. Also, what I think he means when he's saying who's competing the hardest, like best on the boards, right? Challenging people at the rim, keeping people off of the no second chance points, no easy points in the paint, being a deterrent, running up and down, are you physically challenging people? I think those are the things that he means when he's saying, compete. Because competing could just mean, play hard, right? But what specifically are we looking for? And I don't think he's going to say like, yeah, whoever gets the most boards is going to be able to get the opportunity. No, because then you'll have people focusing on one particular thing, right? But those are the things I think he means when he's saying who's competing the hardest. Like, no matter who we going up against, right? You are not allowing your matchup to dominate. You're playing solid. You're playing, solid to exceptional defense, right? You're not missing assignments. You helping clean up when your other players make mistakes, right? Like all you know the offense, simple, like all of those little things matter.
And then we'll go from there.
And Willie, it looked like you really wanted to prioritize getting Jeremiah as much court time as possible in Australia. What's going to be basically your approach for the last 2 preseason games?
It's the same. You know, he'll get a good amount of time to get on the floor against, Houston and Orlando coming up. I think it's good for him and our whole team, our staff, to continue to look at areas that we're doing well in, look at areas that we can improve. But we want him in attack mode. Simple. When he steps on the floor, we want you in attack mode. We can always make some corrections, but the one thing we want him doing is defensively being in attack mode, offensively playing with his speed.
Should we anticipate like more minutes to your regular rotation as well?
Probably the third game. Simple. When he steps on the floor, we want you in attack mode. We're doing well in, look at areas that we can improve, but we want him in attack mode. Simple. When he steps on the floor, we want you in attack mode. We can always make some corrections, but one thing we want him doing is defensively being in attack mode, offensively playing with his speed.
Should we anticipate like more minutes to your regular rotation as well?
Probably the third game, the Houston game for sure. We're looking at more minutes for those guys.
What do you say about Zion, seeing him play in practice, his growth this season?
Yeah, he's taking a step in the right direction this season as far as growth. You know, his leadership is felt on the floor with our guys. When he steps on the floor, he energizes our group. You know, the way he plays, he's always played at a high standard. His ability.
I think he just, bro, there's only so much you can say about Z, to be honest. And I'm gonna hit play and let him finish it. But I think it's just very simple to be like, yo, Zion is Zion, bro. When he steps on the floor, our team knows he's the guy. Like, he's the guy, and his leadership. I like that they're using the word leadership when referring to Zion. Like, because a lot of people question what kind of leader that he would be or would have to be. But anytime you hear Willie talk about it and Zion, like, he's actually leading the team, letting you know everything is going to come down to him this season. And he's like wearing that, you know what I mean, on his shoulders and embracing it.
The Finn has taken a step, but offensively, sharing the basketball, getting points for himself and his teammates. We're going to ask him to rebound better this season, something that he can do. Because when he rebounds, he ignites the break.
I think that's important, and Zion going to reference it in his interview, the rebounding. We're going to ask him to rebound better, right? Like, this team isn't like the most physically imposing team. Zion, even as a smaller player, is one of your more physically imposing players. We have to get him on the boards. One, it just helps start the offense. Like, when you got it in your hands, there's only so much they can do. Like, Zion's one of the best coast-to-coast players in the league. So Zion getting more rebounds, and you saw the last couple times you saw Zion at the end of last season. If you remember, he had a couple triple doubles, high 7-8 rebound games and stuff like that. Like, it wouldn't be surprising to me to have Zion on close to double watch every night. Like, there's no reason that he can't average 8 to 10 rebounds a game with the style that he plays and how physically imposing that he is.
But just complimenting him on some of the steps that he's taken to be available and help our team win more games.
Willie, it seems like, I know he played very limited minutes, but he put up really a good amount of numbers, right, all across the board. Do you think he's like maybe in line for a potential breakout season by his standards even?
We hope so. You know, we want Z to be at his best. And again, when he's at his best, he's one of the top 10 or 15 players in the NBA. So we're definitely hoping that he can continue to make strides forward. He's doing it. He's on the floor. He's working. He's collaborating with his teammates. And now it's about just continuing on that path and having a responsibility and discipline to do it every day.
And Z and Herb, those guys are so dangerous in transition. How much does Jeremiah kind of add to that as well?
He adds to that. Jose, Herb, Z, Trey, those guys in transition, Poole, they're all fast. They all can rebound the ball. ignite your break. And when we can play in that way, it's harder for teams to be able to guard us when we have that kind of space and speed.
Thank you, Coach.
Imagine being.
So overall, man, I think Willie Green is doing a solid job communicating positive information about everybody that he's talking about. That's all you can ask for. DD, man, hold on. I'm trying to get the Zion video. We'll go ahead and get the Zion video and let me get y'all out of here, man.
Not yet.
What time are you waking up?
Like 3, 2 in the morning. And we stay up at like 5, 6.
So, I mean, we kind of saw it, but just what was it like just kind of being embraced from the Australia crowds the way you were at this game?
Talking about the crowd again, man.
I was embraced. It was love, though. It's always a privilege to see, how far the game of basketball can take you. And, the Pels fan base out there was huge. So it was love.
Did it surprise you, like how huge it was?
I can't say it surprised me. I didn't know what to expect. NBA team down there, people gonna throw on NBA jerseys, but no, like these people were Pels fans, like all the way through and through.
How would you
probably part of Dyson being on the team, obviously.
Both yourself and the teams. Yeah.
We have some things to work on as a team, but overall, I feel like we got what we need to get out of it. Individually, there were a lot of things that I feel like I could have did better. The first game, rebounding was definitely one, and just getting into sets. Even if they don't score, instead of just being all over the place, just getting into a set.
That is, man, I don't think y'all know how important that is to hear him say, yeah, we did well, but it's a lot that we can improve on, which lets me know that what he's seeing and what they're collectively, this ain't good enough, right? This ain't good enough. Even if the sets don't score, we got to get into them and we got to run the offense. Part of that is, I think Zion, again, was coaching a lot of old school basketball and not saying that he can't play in the ISOs and all of that, but the dude, obviously wants to play in some form of structure. If you remember, I think this was the 49 win season, matter of fact, in the beginning of the season when they was working on the offense and then scrapped the offense, and he was essentially pissed off in the interview. He was like, man, I'm just trying to buy into whatever it is we doing. I'm trying to do what they asking me to do. I think now he's able to, one, be more vocal about what it is going on and be able to set more of an expectation like, hey, bro, we got to run these sets. We got to get into the offense. We got to be better. And he's taking a lot of accountability. I got to be better with the rebounding. So obviously they've told him what it is they need. Like, everybody's giving the same message. Willie talked about the rebounding. They talked about playing together. You heard Jeremiah Fears mention running the offense, being in sets. Zion mentioned being in the sets. That means one message, right? And Joe Dumars, one goal, one message, one band, one sound, all the same.
To work on as a team, but overall, I feel like we got what we need to get out of it. Individually, there were a lot of things that I feel like I could have did better. The first game, rebounding was definitely one, and just getting into sets. Even if they don't score, instead of just being all over the place, just getting into a set.
Instead of being all over the place. Instead of being all over the place. Stop looking like a damn team that don't have no structure, that y'all don't know what y'all doing. Stop being all over the place. Like, probably went back and watching some of those tape, like some of the film of them playing games. It was like, bro, what the hell are we doing? I love to hear that from Z. Your leader.
First time and just seeing how y'all fit together.
Man, I told him, I said, hey, bro, you just be trying shit out there. But it's dope, man.
He said, Poole just asked him how he was playing with Poole. He was like, Poole just be trying shit. He probably like, hey, bro, I know you're going to do you, but do your thing, but you got to chill a little bit. Like, I'm wondering, I think they cool, but he probably like, yo, we got to figure some of this out sometime.
I said it the whole time. It's going to be exciting out there on the court with him because, he brings energy, and he's a competitor. I mean, he won a ring, so he know what it takes to get there, and having that experience on this team with him alone is big for us.
So what did you kind of learn about this team on this trip?
I learned a lot about him. Collectively as a unit, the camaraderie is there, the chemistry is there, and I look forward to how the season's gonna go.
It's about the camaraderie of the team. I think he basically like, look, we like each other and we cool. I think we got a chance, but I'm gonna wait to see. You know what I mean? We got to perform, right? I like it. I like to see where the season's gonna go. I think he's like, yeah, we get along. Because it just felt like in previous seasons, BI and Z just as your two main players, like never really were on the same page, right? This particular team feels different from top to bottom. They do feel more like a unit. The ages, like CJ was a much older vet, right? This group, they're all close in age. They're all close in like points in their careers and stuff like that. So it makes a difference, the transition and them having optimism.
It seemed like you had a lot of guys that played well, obviously, in the 2 games. I was wondering what your thoughts were on Eve and Carlo. It seems like they got a lot of jumps.
They played great. And there were times they were running the floor, and even when they wouldn't get the pass, it opened up a score for another teammate. So those two played really well defensively, and they were moving up and down the court.
You talked a little bit on media day about you feel
Shout out
good,
to Eve and
about
Carlo,
having
man.
How did it feel to actually be out on the court playing basketball?
It felt great. It's always a privilege to throw on an NBA jersey, be a Pelican. So just being out there and starting in Australia, like I said, it was an honor. The love was real, but in terms of basketball, it was great to be back out there.
Are you looking forward to being in front of the home fans tomorrow night at practice?
Of course. This home base. No matter what people say, this home. This the crib. So I look forward to playing in front of these fans again.
What did you kind of see from Jeremiah getting his first experience playing with you guys?
This is important.
Y'all been saying it all summer long. Fearless. He's a go-getter. And, he's very coachable. He takes, when people are giving him advice, he takes it and he implements it immediately. So he's someone I definitely look forward to compete with on the court.
So takes it and implements it immediately. Jeremiah Fizz, bro, if you can take coaching, first off, a lot of players can't even take criticism. If you can take criticism, right, take coaching, implement that immediately, and then be able to like apply what it is that you learn, that's a hell of a player.
Do you notice a difference in his play between games 1 and 2?
Absolutely. There were some things, that he did that was, I was guilty of as a rookie, but, his focus is there because his talent for me is he just continuously get better. He's not the same player he was the day before. He's always getting better.
We've seen a little bit of work with the two-man game with you and Trey. We saw that pay off really early in Australia. How does it feel playing with him this year? What do you expect from him this year?
Asking him
Trey's gonna
about
have
Trey.
a really big season. Another player that gets better year to year, and he showed glimpses of it last year. I can't even say glimpse. He showed a lot of glimpses of it last year. With his talent and his ability to handle, like come out pick and rolls with it. So it's gonna be a big year for us, especially when it comes down to like fourth quarter.
Thanks, Steve.
And that's pretty much it, man. Like the team, those particular interviews, like the guys are obviously excited about like, yeah, going to Australia was cool. Whoa. Oh, my bad. Hold on, there we go. All right, yeah. Obviously, it's post game. But I kind of like to go over those because all of those interviews have meaning, and a lot of people may not watch them to get an idea of like what's actually going on post game and like post practice. I'm sorry, not post game, post practice. But it's really exciting to see the message together, like everybody seeing the same thing, saying the same thing. And I think we finally have a couple things I took. It seems like we actually have an offense that we're working on, right? Some offense and a style of play transition, aggressive, defense, what it is we've been wanting. They simplify what it is they want to see from the 5 position. Like, y'all are athletic, run the floor, set screens, be athletic, protect the rim, don't turn it over. Like, very basic. We ain't work like Carlo. If you open, shoot the 3. Eve, not so much. Like, everybody do what it is you good at. Use your athleticism, be athletic. Zion is the guy. They've emphasized the rebounding. Like, we need to make sure that every time you on the floor, you're setting the tone. We playing hard. We not getting bullied. Like, we like attack mode, be physical, offensively and defensively. Like, if they can do the things that they're working on and implement them at a high level, the team is going to be good. The team is going to be good. Everybody's still taking shots at the team. That's fine, bro. That's part of what comes until you get on the floor and you can show it. But the second they look decent, watch how fast things turn around. Watch how fast things turn around. So that's going to do it for me today, man. I just wanted to, put some of that out. I'm actually getting ready to go chill for a little bit, and then I'm off to open practice. Shout out to everybody that joined in, man. Like, share, subscribe. Hopefully y'all still, if anybody, in the area going, get y'all tickets. They free on SeatGeek or wherever. Come out, support the team. And shout out to everybody, man. For Pels in the Blender, I'm A. Davis. Y'all be safe. It's all love. Peace.